See the target, shoot the target. Greetings and welcome back to another Joe-alicious episode of the Vodkast. I'm your host as always, General Geycen of the USS Flag. And with us today is Shipwreck. That's right, number 70 in the classified G.I. Joe series, if you're into that sort of thing. I'm not. The thing is that my best friend Corey's favorite G.I. Joe is Shipwreck. And I found this on clearance a few weeks ago for about $8 at Walmart, and I knew I had to have it in the collection, but I was really leery about opening it. I'm kind of funky about opening collectibles. I like having them in the package, but sometimes, especially with these G.I. Joe and some of the new Star Wars figures, you can't even see the figure until you actually open it. So when they went down to $4, then of course I had to get one to open up. So we're going to bust into number 70 in the classified G.I. Joe series, Shipwreck. We're going to take a look at him. We're going to take a look at Polly. Maybe we're going to learn a little bit about Shipwreck today. Who frickin' knows? I'll tell you who knows. Me. And I'm going to share some information about Polly with you. Polly also learned sailing songs from Shipwreck and was prone to including Shipwreck's name in them to the latter's embarrassment. Polly customarily addresses Shipwreck as Sailor because of the Polly's irritating behavior. Shipwreck would sometimes leave Polly at home when he was away on missions. In a dream sequence, Polly dreams of being the leader of PETS, the Primal Emergency Tactical Squad, which is a sub-team of G.I. Joe composed of all the Joe's pets. In a daydream, they save Shipwreck from Crystal Ball. The funny thing about that is I didn't know Crystal Ball was an actual Cobra villain until I looked it up, so I'm like, that's strange, just Crystal Ball. So now we know. So there's a little bit something about Polly. Let's bust into old Shipwreck here and see what he's been up to these days. Is he looking like he did? Let's take a look at the original figure back from the 80s. I used to collect these when they were less than $2. You could go in and buy almost a whole new set of figures for like $20, and nothing was more exciting to me back in the 80s than walking to Bradley's with my mother, heading over to the toy section and heading down the, well, I hate to say it now because it's very sexist, but the big boy toy aisle and looking at G.I. Joe and Star Wars or whatever was coming out at the time. And the G.I. Joes were always so exciting because it'd just be, back in the day, there was dozens and dozens and dozens. And so each figure, you might have had a whole row of 10 or 12. It was incredible the way that G.I. Joe sold back in the day. But now you're getting $25, out of the gate with these things. Who the hell has the money to pay $25? You get 4 figures. That's $100. That's like back in my day, like 5 video games or something. All right, let's slide them out. I'll let you guys take a look here. I've never opened a G.I. Joe box before. I have a few G.I. Joe figures. I've got one of Zartan's twins there. I can't remember if it's Tomax or Zaymot. I assume this is the accessories and this is just the figure. So let's get you out of here, Shipwreck. And away we go. I swear, these things are like Fort Knox. When I was a kid, it was just that clamshell plastic package. You ripped it off the cardboard. Well, of course, you had to be careful of the old, the little cards that were on the back. Here, take a look at Shipwrecks while I continue to get him out of the box. And I'll be back with you in just a moment.
God damn it. Get out of the box, sailor. Get out of the box.
And here we go. He is out of the box. Look at that. These are great. These are so much cooler than when I was a kid. Now, the one cool thing about G.I. Joe over Star Wars or He-Man figures when I was a kid was just the fact that, of course, does it? Yeah, it does. I'm really afraid of breaking this thing. I'm not. Oh, that's a lot of articulation there. Back in the day, we had the elbows and, of course, the kung fu grip. The wrists now appear to turn. The shoulders are all fully functional, as is the head. I like the fact that he comes. Oh, sorry, I should be showing you guys this Shipwreck, not me. Anywho, there's Shipwreck. Let's take a look at his accessories. I'm hoping Polly's in here. I think she's on the front of the package, so she should be in the box here. I guess this is supposed to be like a trunk. What do they call those if you're in the military? What's funny is a lot of my family was in the military. I never had any desire whatsoever to be part of it. That just seems like I was very I didn't like teachers. I didn't like authority. There was no way I could have ever survived in the military. Not that I would want to anyway, just because it's just not my shtick. Good for you if you are. If that's your thing, enjoy your military life. But my father was in World War II, born in 1914. That sounds crazy. Oh, man. So I actually have to physically damage the package to access it. But that's not a huge thing because we have 2 of them, one to open and one to play with. Let's just pour out what we got here. Okay, yeah, it's Polly, some ropes. Ooh, nice grappling hook. Certainly wouldn't be Shipwreck without a nice grappling hook. He was never one of my favorite sailormen. No, he was never one of my favorite G.I. Joes. He wasn't my least favorite. He was definitely in the top 5, I would say. Oh, look at that. He's bald, apparently. I never realized he was wearing a wig all the time. So I guess his hair just goes on. It's not just an extra head. He comes with some rope. He's got a grappling hook. He's got a gun, of course. I think he could put that right in his little holster here. I had the wrong side for the holster. I'm so stupid. Let's put his arm up. Let's stick this rope over him. Now, my favorite G.I. Joes, in no particular order, were certainly Flint. I don't know what it was about him. I think it might have been the beret. I was really into the beret. He stood out as a G.I. Joe. I really liked him as a leader. I always hoped that he would take Duke's position. You know, he was always vying for it. He was right there. Unfortunately, in his line of work, it just didn't work out for him. But I heard he went on and had a very happy life with Lady J. Was it Lady J or Scarlet? No, it was Lady J. Scarlet was with Duke. I was way into the soap opera aspect of G.I. Joe when I was a kid, if you didn't know. I guess this probably has no place on him. I mean, maybe on the box it shows something. Yeah, I guess it hooks on somewhere. And, of course, we got the parrot and his extra hair. Polly. Does she have a perch somewhere that she can mount the good sailor? Oh, it's a wrist thing. The whole time I was thinking it was a shoulder thing. The shoulder would have been cooler, I think. But whatever. Hang on a second. I can't see shit. There's a hole in his arm for the stick coming out of Polly, but it does not want to go in there. The hole seems like it's a little too small. Oh, wait. Is that it? Do we get it? Nope, we don't get it. All right, Polly, you're just going to lie on the ground because you don't have feet to stand up. You have one foot, but the other foot's just a peg leg. I guess that makes you a pirate. It kind of works out, doesn't it? Anywho, there you go. There's Shipwreck in all his glory. I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing. This is definitely a cool figure. I guess we can't go without at least trying on his other hair. I didn't realize. I thought it was going to be like a pop-off head thing, and it was going to be a nightmare to get it on and off. Look at that. He's got some nice hair. I would never wear. If I was Shipwreck, I would never wear a hat. Look at that hair. It's glorious. Anywho, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. The unboxing of Classified G.I. Joe number 70, Shipwreck. One of my favorites. Also, sorry, I forgot to tell you guys, Snake Eyes and Flint and Shipwreck were probably my top 3. After that, I don't know. I didn't really care too much for the other Joes. They're all right. You know, Gung Ho was okay. But there's my top 3. There's Shipwreck. Hope you guys love it. And if you guys are loving the content I'm creating as much as I love creating the content that you guys are watching, would you please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, and hitting the little bell icon because it'll let you know every time I put out a new video. Don't forget to make somebody smile today and make yourself a better person tomorrow than you were today tomorrow. Let's make the world spin a little bit happier and a little bit more G.I. Joe together. Let's sing and dance in the sun and in the rain as one, my brothers and sisters. Live life to the fullest and love every moment of it because you just never know when that last moment's going to come for you. However, never live in fear of that moment. Always live in love and never let your inner child die. Yo, Joe. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and take care of those around you who cannot take care of themselves, for they are the ones that need it the most. And if no one has told you today that they love you, the Vodkast loves you very much, just the way you are. All right, guys, do no harm. I'm Geycen Oliveira. This is the Vodkast, and I'll catch you guys a little bit further on down the road to 50. Take care, my friends, and happy adventuring.
Don't go to sleep with a catch it in your pocket.